had COVID. We are now talking about inflation crisis, energy crisis, and directly connected to energy crisis, inflation, we have a skyrocketing of the costs of living. And that is creating not only a critical situation for people working in precarious conditions, this is really creating a middle-class crisis.
A crisis where 1 in 5 Europeans, nearly 100 million people, are at risk of poverty and exclusion in the EU, according to Eurostat.
You have people with quite a good income, more than the average, and they are running out of money at the 20th or 21st of the month. Especially when you are a family, you have kids, it is an enormous burden for the people.
The EU has an action plan backing the European Pillar of Social Rights. By 2030, it aims to pull 15 million Europeans out of poverty, including 5 million children, as well as boost jobs and training among adults.
We really should tackle child poverty because when you end the child poverty, you really can end the poverty that goes from one generation to another. And if you don't invest in your children, you are leaving them behind.
The European Child Guarantee calls for free education, healthcare, and other measures, and for national governments to come up with action plans, backed by the EU's European Social Fund, or ESF.
The EU can certainly support the national action plans. In total, the ESF Plus will provide 6.7 billion over the 2021-27 programming period to fight child poverty. The ESF Plus, the European Social Fund budget, is already used to support many national and local actions, for example, support in mental health, centers for the promotion of healthy living, and projects to empower children.
The EU's social rights pillar includes 20 principles on social protections, access to jobs, fair working conditions, unemployment insurance, childcare, pensions, and critically important these days, minimum wages.
Of course, this is an EPP issue. We brought this forward, and it is a key issue in reducing poverty. Of course, the question of collective agreements, collective bargaining remains key, but when we are talking about reducing poverty, minimum wages is a key issue in our social market economy.
Finding a normal life for the homeless is also part of the European social rights pillar.
Housing First projects, for example, that already exist in many member states, are a very efficient way to fight homelessness. And by giving people a house, you help them to build up their life, to get the necessary support, and to find a job.
EPP Group MEPs say all of those efforts are critically important ahead of upcoming elections to avoid a further shift to populist parties by voters hit by multiple crises.
This is, of course, helping right-wing populists because the expectation of the people is quite clear. The middle-class crisis has to be put in the focus of political decision makers. It must be #1 priority for EPP.